Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez at 147 makes sense. I got Teofimo Lopez. I think he beats Ryan Garcia. The way Ryan could beat him is by boxing him, though. It's by poking, and well, the thing is, though, I think Ryan Garcia's power translates more than Teofimo.
My next fight is for a unification at 40, and then we got Jerron in his boots, 47.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then the winner.
That's fire.
Then the winner in February against Haney Garcia.
Ooh.
I just don't like when fighters like Teofimo Lopez over-evaluate themselves, because now I'm dealing with a liar. I can't deal with a liar.
It makes sense to pit Ryan Garcia against Teofimo Lopez at 147. Time Lopez is superior to Ryan Garcia, in my opinion. Ryan Garcia could defeat him by boxing him, but that would only involve probing and prodding. The problem is that I believe Ryan Garcia's strength is more valuable than TP's. I don't like it when fighters like Taimo Lopez overestimate themselves, because now that I'm dealing with a liar...
Were you in camp with Teofimo at all, Ryan? Because I saw you going back and forth, and you're both working with Eddie right now. Talk to us about that.
I'm not against Teo. I think Teo's cool. He was kind of taking shots at all of us about, our accomplishments, and, I kind of, got riled up.
I can't handle a liar. But what happened between Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez at the official press conference had a different kind of energy. What made this moment so intriguing was that neither Lopez nor Garcia are scheduled to fight each other next. But the tension between them was unmistakable. My next fight is for a unification at 40. And then we got John in his boots 47. And then, the winner then went on in February against Haney Garcia. You are in camp with Todd All. Ryan.
I wanted to go after Teofimo. That's why me and him trip more than everybody else. I just feel like that's who I really wanted to fight for, the next big fight.
Because I noticed that you were bouncing back and forth and that you are both working with Eddie at the moment. Talk to us about that. I don't have anything against Ta. I think it's cool. He was just making fun of all of us for our achievements. And I got a little agitated. We don't give a flip what you are. Garcia fired forth, and I'm tired of hearing this bullshit. We're going to run that 100%. Garcia lost no time in raising the stakes by verbally attacking Lopez in front of the media and fans. The two had to be separated before the situation turned physical, because Lopez refused to back down and continued to glare at Garcia with the same passion he brings to the ring. Taimo, and I trip more than everyone else because I want to pursue him. That's the person I truly want to fight for,
How's it feel?
Ryan.
Which of the two fights got your attention? You interested most? We got the Haney or Teo could get it if he wins?
I want Teo because I haven't fought Teo. And I feel like I wanted to do, for me, is fight everybody. That's what I always wanted to do when I seen everybody hyping up, Tank, Devin, Teofimo. That was the whole thing. So in my heart, I wanted to fight Teo because I feel like I handled him, regardless.
So of the four kings, that's still ongoing, man.
That's how I feel. I feel like that's what it is. But again,
in the next major battle, with a sizable social media following and a talent for getting under his opponent's skin, Ryan Garcia is no stranger to psychological warfare. He has developed his brain not only with lightning-fast hands, but also with the capacity to incite rage, in Garcia's opinion. He is making sure that everyone is aware that Lopez is already on his hit list. This isn't the first time Garcia has targeted Lopez. In fact, the notion of a Garcia versus Lopez fight has been circulating for years. On July 16, 2022.
How you doing? Good, bro. How you doing, bro?
Hey, we're ever going to see you guys in the ring together? Against each other?
Hey, what up, Turkey? Oh, yeah, Turkey. What's good?
Hey, Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez.
Hey, man, we for the people. That's all it is.
Are you down for that fight?
Hey, man, yeah. We both believe in God, so, at the end of it all, it just be
Make
two.
the best man win.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan, you'd be down to box Teofimo?
Why wouldn't I?
Who gets slept in that one?
It'll be a big fight.
Garcia defeated Javier Fortuna via brutal knockout at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, making it obvious who wanted to fight next in the event that his long hype bout with Devin Davis didn't take place. Which of the two fights caught your interest the most? If Remy or TA wins, I want to fight him since I haven't done it before, and I feel like I should fight everyone because that's what I've always wanted to do when I see everyone getting hyped up.
Ryan DM'd me and everything. Boy, desperate for some payday. Ryan just said that if I'm looking forward to it, man, we could make some good money and we could make the fight happen. At 1.4 that they did on pay-per-view buys was mainly from Ryan's side, not really from Tank. And that's all from the YouTubers and the young kids that don't know. It's just your casual fans. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy that...
That was Devin T. FEMA. And I really wanted to fight him because I feel like I hand him. regardless of the four kings. And that's how I feel, you know. But I also want to fight Teofimo Lopez at 140 pounds. Although the fight never happened, Garcia's remarks from 2 years ago seem more pertinent now than ever. The two fighters' intensity has increased, and this most recent altercation has rekindled speculation about a possible mega fight. With both fighters weighing 140 pounds, a fight between Garcia and Lopez seems inevitable, even if it doesn't happen anytime soon. We're going to see you two in the ring together. So how are you? What's up, Turkey? Oh, what's good, Turkey? Ryan Garcia versus T. Lopez. Hey, man.
In 2025 is Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez.
That's one of the top ones out there. That's one of the top ones, could be arguably the top one after, I believe, a high-end tune-up where he can get tested, but he'll win. But yeah, that'd be a good fight.
I love seeing like the fans going back and forth over that, like in the comments.
I would like to see the press conference itself. Sell tickets to the press conference.
I know.
Yeah, listen, Ryan Garcia in that weight division is the money. Is the old days of this.
We're for the people, that's all. Are you up for that fight? Hey, man, I mean, we both believe in God, so it's just about making the best man in the end. Triumph, yes, precisely. Ryan Reed, that would be a massive match between East Coast and West Coast dynamic Lopez, a Brooklyn-born boxer of Honduran ancestry, who embodies a tough, no-nonsense style of New York boxing. Why would I be down the box? Garcia is a California native who possesses a flash and the assurance that West Coast boxing is known for two fighters with something to prove. Despite suffering a high-profile defeat to Davis, Garcia is still one of the sport's top names. For some compensation, Ryan DM me in everything.
The takeover with Lopez and the undefeated interim champ, Barboza Jr. It's all for the WBO Super Lightweight World Championship.
Guy. That's all from YouTubers and the young children who don't realize it's just casual fans. Brian just stated that if I'm looking forward to it. Dude, we can make some nice money and we can make the battle happen at one. For the most of the pay-per-view purchases they made were from Ryan's side rather than Tank. With a fight against Romero scheduled for the Times Square card and a high-stakes rematch with Devin Haney scheduled for October, if both men win their bouts, Ryan Garcia is already returning to the ring with a point to prove.
Romero here, and I seem to remember years ago when you guys were prospects at lightweight. You might have been at junior lightweight at the time, as a matter of fact. There was a lot of talk about a sparring session, and there was John going back years ago between you two. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I think we sparred about 2 years ago. It was a little rough sparring, I guess, but he continued to use that sparring to, kind of boost up his career. Credit to his point. But I don't have no bad blood to him. I'm here to, do my job and, set up that rematch. But I'm not overlooking him at all. I know that he's going to come to fight. It's a big opportunity on the main stage, so I got to be sharp and prepare.
And isn't keeping quiet about it. I'm not going to be that guy who makes everyone else more money than I do. Garcia is making it clear that he is going after everyone who stands his way. But despite everything he has on his plate, his primary focus is Teofimo Lopez. His voice was unmistakably intense when he called Lopez out during the press conference, looking directly at the WBO super lightweight champion, as if he were the next person on the hit list. There, Tao, I want that belt. I want that. I want everything. I'd like to see Ryan Garcia versus Taio Lopez in 2025, because that's one of the best fights out there.
Ryan is a hell of a fighter. He's a good fighter, but if you embarrass me like that, my pride is going to kick in like as a fighter. Like, right. I'm going to want to, you're going to have to line it up again. Yeah. And that's how I feel like with that situation. I feel like, yeah, what will waiting 4 years do for me? Like, it's going to look like, okay, I waited it out and you're not the same fighter no more, but I want to beat you while you feeling good and you just did that. Okay, I'm going to beat you.
And if it's one of the best, it might even be the best one after, I think, a high-end workout where he can be tested, but he'll win. I also like to see the fans arguing about that in the comment section and the press conference itself. I know that, listen, Ryan Garcia in that weight division is the money in the old days of this event. Although Garcia had previously begged for a fight with Lopez, this time it seemed different because he was making a statement. The energy at the press conference was already high. But between Garcia's constant taunting and Lopez's short fuse, the event took a completely different turn. Lopez, who was scheduled to defend his title against Arnold Barboza on the same card, didn't immediately respond. But his presence alone was enough to add fuel to fire, and if there was any doubt about his willingness to cause chaos, he quickly erased it when he escalated his own rivalry with Barboza by slapping him during their face-off. Lopez and the undefeated Inner Barza J take over for the WWO Super Lightweight World Music. It's all 4 claps. Championship Garcia is aware that everything he does is being watched closely now that his victory over Haney was overturned.
I think right now they're probably going to announce a lot of fights to be finalized. That's my opinion on that. However, I think that it's a great matchup. I think it's a good storyline for Rolly as well. And I think they're going to fight at 47.
Yeah. Rolly's a big dude. Obviously, he has that power. Ryan has that right hook.
Yep.
So, who you got?
I got Ryan. I got Ryan Garcia.
Why?
Yeah. I just think that from that fight and since then, he hasn't been fighting for that long of a period.
He tested positive for Osterine, which resulted in a 1-year suspension from the New York State Athletic Commission. This hasn't stopped him from being the talk of the boxing world. And if anything, it has made him more outspoken. Having Haney, who is scheduled to face Jose Ramirez, on the same card has only made things more explosive. I'm Romero, and I seem to recall that years ago when you two were prospects at lightweight.
It comes down to Bob offering you a Tio fight and Eddie offering you Ryan. Does it just come down to what's the bigger check?
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to what makes sense. Those are two huge fights. Obviously, Tio is more legacy belts, whatever. But I also got the belts already at 135. Of course, I want to get the belts, but right now it's what makes the most sense to me.
You may have been at junior lightweight at the time. In fact, there was a lot of talk about a sparring session, and I believe that you two sparred about 8 years ago. It was a little rough, I suppose, but he continued to use that spar and kind of boost up his career credit to his point. But I don't have any bad feelings toward him. I'm here to do my job and set up that rematch.